Gaming journalists are always right, and you should never form your own opinion on a game. If you only listen to them and people on Twitter, you'll live a happy life and never be disappointed again. So is Gotham Knights the worst game of the year? No, probably not. It's actually pretty good in parts. But when playing it, I really felt like this was intended to be a live service game that got changed after the Avengers nightmare. And changing the core of a video game this far into development, it's as hard as cooking a beef Wellington on short notice. I've never felt stressed like the Christmas Eve of 2019. Right, so Batman's dead, and he didn't even die heroically fighting a villain. It was an allergic reaction to his piles medication, of all things. Batman records his vlogs at the same frame rate the game runs at. It's now the duty of Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood to fill the Batman-sized hole in Gotham. A lot of people choose to play as Batgirl because of her ass in that tight spandex. But let's give Dick some love here. My man has got a straight dumper. We're investigating a case that Batman didn't finish, looking into the death of Dr. Kirk Langstrom. I may not be a genius like Batman, but I think I can determine from this investigation that Langstrom was bleeding before he died. He also has a secret door in his office that's activated by a microwave. Imagine turning up to work with your Chinese leftovers from last night, ready to warm them up for lunch, and the wall just opens instead. Yeah, a secret basement is cool, but now your lunch is still cold, which is a huge bummer. Anyway, down here it appears Langstrom was doing some experiments attempting to make tentacle adult videos in real life. Can you even fault the man? Imagine how much money that would rake in. We find a hidden hard drive, and honestly I'm quite concerned about the contents of it, but decide that's enough for now and head out. Unfortunately though, on our exit, it would appear that some BuzzFeed employees have been laid off as they're out in the street causing havoc. How do I know they're BuzzFeed employees? Well, just have a listen to the dialogue.
Something lights on fire is between 424 and 475 Fahrenheit.
I've never enjoyed putting a video game character into a rear naked chokehold more.
Hey, look up here! I'm a professor of setting stuff on fire!
So I finally got to put the one big thing that everyone had been asking about, the combat, to the test. It feels good at times. Sometimes it even flows pretty nice, but I was constantly fighting with the camera and really feel like the lack of a lock-on system with this combat was a huge mistake. I feel like they went for an Assassin's Creed Origins rebooted style combat, but forgot to include like half the things that make that fun. And that combat wasn't even that fun either. So yeah, it's pretty bad. But like a true hero of Gotham, I decide to save these two innocent people. But this abnormally large man walks in the middle of my saving. Of course we have to fight him, which is just like fighting every other enemy in the game, but with a larger health bar and a guard break. Creative. Anyway, when I return to the two people, they're no longer there, so I think I just left them to burn. Like, Dick mate, I know you haven't been doing this stuff long since Batman died, but like, these aren't chicken nuggets in the oven. You can't just leave them for an extra 2 minutes while you take care of something else and expect them to still be golden brown. Anyway, forgetting those two dead innocent people, I hop on the Batcycle as I've now got access to the open world and take in Gotham. I know some people will disagree with me here, but I actually think one of this game's strongest assets is its Gotham. I think I even prefer it to the Arkham Gotham. Also, in this version of Gotham, you can run over people on the Batcycle who are just walking down the path, so yeah, it gets extra points for that. Feeling bad for those people I let burn earlier, I want to help the average Joe of Gotham. So I see this young lady having car troubles, and her mechanic is also a woman, so they have no chance of fixing that anytime soon. I go to hop off and help them out, but accidentally discharge my wrist weapon. Who has the dismount button as B and not Y? The universal button to get in and out of vehicles is Y. Although I was complimenting this version of Gotham earlier, what I don't actually love about it is the frame rate. I'll just be whipping it in the Batcycle, and all of a sudden, my frame rate is choppier than a teenager's jaw at a festival. I get back to the belfry to see the boys, and just where we're in the middle of a heated argument, Alfred walks in with his pea coat on like an absolute G. I quickly get back on the streets because criminals don't sleep. Well, they do actually, but they don't have conventional jobs, so they sleep during the day mostly. Wow. Criminals and YouTubers are actually so similar. I guess even in some cases, like Minecraft YouTubers, they're even the same thing. I can also confirm that while patrolling the streets of Gotham, you can physically assault pedestrians, so what's not to love here? Out on the streets, it's mostly just mundane crimes like kidnapping or someone trying to rob an ATM. That's so 2005 of them. No one robs ATMs anymore. If you want to make money in 2022, all you've got to do is fire up the OnlyFans and take some tasteful ankle pics. Put a subscription fee of $20 per month with occasional discounts and you'll be raking it in. However, if you're smart like me and the boys, you just create one account and share that account between you, then splitting up the monthly bill into quarters. Anyway, we still gotta solve this Langstrom case, so I head to the morgue at the police station to stare at his dead body or something. I'm not really sure where we're going, but yeah. Oh yeah, we also have no problem with fighting the police now. So yeah, you know all those years that Batman spent building up trust with them? It's all gone. We used to fight crime, now we are the crime. We get to the morgue, and Talia Al Ghul, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, is here gently rubbing his bosom. She then stabs him, incinerates him, and teleports away. So yeah, she's kinda cute. I find Langstrom, and I think it's fair to say my man has seen better days. I also slipped a look under the sheet to get a free confidence boost about my penis size, but no. Now I feel more insecure than ever. How is he bigger than me while being dead? So I find a secret chip hidden in his glucose reader and take it back to the belfry. Finally, we see what the crew looks like in their casual wear, and I still can't get over the fact that Red Hood looks fresh out of Gears of War. Why is he an absolute Giga Chad? Who made the choices on his character design? Distracting us from Jason's jawline was a message from the one and only Harley Quinn. She's looking as good as ever. I mean, she's a little loopy, yes, but that's the fun part. Like, you could be hitting it and she'll start choking you as a little light-hearted kinkiness, but never let go and end up killing you right there and then. It really keeps you on your toes. Anyway, she extends the olive branch and invites us to go see her down at the prison. If she continues down this path of kindness, she may just be in for receiving a Christmas card this year. Before going to see Harley though, I have a look around the belfry to see what we can get up to. You can reminisce about Batman while having a bro off with Red Hood. You can sharpen those fighting skills, but I don't get why you do that when ultimately the combat in this game is just button mashing. You can also game on this arcade machine, which is fun, but outdated. Why do we not have a $5,000 PC set up in here where we can hop on Warzone and stream to one Twitch viewer while throwing out slurs? Off to the prison we go, and we can't exactly just go through the front door of the prison, so we sneak in underneath, having to squeeze Nightwing's fat ass through some tight gaps. Also, this is just a small thing, but it really bugs me about this game. Why do I have to press a button prompt to go through gaps and doors? Just walk through when I go near. I find a little chest back here, full of some currency? Crafting materials? I have no idea, to be honest. It all seems literally useless. Well, I call it useless, but here I am, going out of my way to grab another chest. My lizard brain can't help it. I see something highlighted in a video game, I must get it. I eventually get to Harley's block and see she set up balloons for my arrival. This is way more than my parents ever did for my birthdays, so I guess Harley is now mummy? We also have to fight a lot of inmates, and this is definitely more reminiscent of what my parents did on my birthday. This is actually one of the encounters where the combat felt pretty nice. They weren't too spongy, I feel like I had a decent flow going, and some variety of my attacks. Once we've defeated all the inmates the Harley throw at us, we go have a little talk, and I've got to respect her move to wear comfy slippers. No one ever thinks about how uncomfortable superhero footwear is. Like, there's not even efficient soul support in half these costumes. You know Harley's a real one because she compliments Nightwing's arse.
You gotta eat. Wouldn't want you to lose them glutes.
And we then have a little chat, and she asked me to collect something for her, because, you know, this is a game in 2022, and no one can get themselves anything. On my adventures through the prison, I also meet the Giga BuzzFeed employee, who is wearing Crocs. Why is she wearing Crocs? Who is handing out Crocs in prison? Anyway, she has them in sports mode, so I feel like she may be a little bit dangerous, but no, it doesn't help at all, and I defeat her with ease. I get back to Harley, who gives me this important book I needed. Of course, she can't just hand it to me through the bars, so she sets it off on a balloon carrying the book. Nightwing, a literal expert in gymnastics, cannot catch a balloon travelling at 3 miles per hour. The balloon ends up in the courtyard where a riot has broken out between the prison guards and the inmates. The whole fight sequence is also complemented by a punk rock version of Livin' La Vida Loca. I never thought I would hear this in a game, but unlike 90% of the internet, I actually really enjoyed this part and thought it made the whole thing a lot more enjoyable. But you know, Twitter is angry because my Batman game can't be light-hearted, must be gruff and dark and super serious all of the time. When we get back to the belfry, we realise the book is a detailed look at different prisoners from Blackgate. Surprise, surprise, the rich and powerful folk of Gotham all got early releases from their sentences. You know, like real life. The only person to break this sequence was the Penguin, so we've got to pay him a visit. Before we go see the Penguin, I investigate a disturbance at a lab, and I won't spoil this part of the game, but I will show you some dialogue that made me wish it was me who drowned at the kiddie pool in 2003, and not my friend Steve.
Freeze? How did he get in with the regulators? I thought he chilled out.
Oh,
Whatever you... Hey nerds, check out my new toy.
Introducing Pony Pigeon and the marvelous Pew Pew. With these drones, we usher in a new generation of remote control pain.
So I switched to Red Hood because, yeah, you can switch character and the game just doesn't tell you. Or maybe it did and I may have just missed it, which is also very possible because I had a fatty before recording this. It dawns on me pretty quick that Red Hood's combat actually feels a lot better than Nightwing's. Maybe it's just the guns, but it really does make you feel like a degenerate high school student. There's this crime where you have to disarm 3 bombs and the police don't get involved because those who planted the bombs are white. If you get spotted, however, the bombs begin a 1-minute timer, and if you don't disarm them by the time it ends, the civilian just kind of blows up. It's actually pretty funny, and I'm not gonna lie, I was fully expecting the game to just cut to black before anything happened. So we drop in on Mr. Penguin himself, but before we have a chat he asks us to grab the whiskey. Wow, my man needs a whiskey to speak to us. We may have to host a penguin intervention. Anyway, we ask why the rich and powerful have been getting a free pass out of prison for years, but he served his time. In a long, riddled fashion, he ends up telling us they were favoured by the Court of Owls, but most in Gotham believe the Court of Owls is just a myth. You know what else is a myth? My enjoyment of this game. No, I'm kidding. I had fun in parts. It's definitely got some bright spots. Like I said, the story and Gotham are probably main parts for me, but the rest of it is fairly shit. A big thank you as always to those of you who click the join button and become a member of the channel. It really does mean a lot. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Mwah. A big thank you to my motherload Voiy Bois and above, Björn van den Hatter, ZYFin, TheGamerTeg. Thank you guys for your support.